Set free by the teen angels from his prehistoric block of glacier ice comes the world's first superhero, Captain Caveman. Now the constant companion to the teen angels, Brenda, Dee Dee, and Taffy in their hilarious and sometimes scary mystery missions. Get ready for Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Probot Workshop. I'm your host, the Patriotic Robot. I'd like to thank all of you for stopping in here and having a visit with your favorite robot. And today's video has to do with Daniel John Lee, and as many of you know, after a mere I think she's been gone 4 days now, but 4 or 5 days. But she only lived with him for 4 days before they broke up, and I'm speaking of his current wife / ex-wife. And in today's video, we want to take a look at Daniel's previous marriage and how it ended, and his current previous marriage and how it ended. And the good thing for us is Daniel documents everything in his life, no matter how it may embarrass the folks that are close to him. So we can contrast and compare here, and you're going to see that old Danny boy is a creature of habit. So let's take a look at some clips, and I'll be back with some commentary.
And what Yah's been speaking to me as I've been praying during this Shabbat. This Christine leaving me on the 4th day of the marriage, and then now it's, we're on now day 4 of her refusing to honor her marital vows and actually live in the house. And if you want to know why she left, you can go back to a few videos ago that I explained the reason. It was not a godly reason why she left. In fact, the Bible's very clear in 1 Corinthians 7, let a woman not depart from her husband. And if she does, let her remain unmarried until she be reconciled. But this, what CJ pointed out, is absolutely true. This is a prophetic picture. You see, Christine should be yearning to be with me. Just like this poster says, she should be wanting to put her refuge in me as her husband. Even if she's uncomfortable, even if she doesn't quite understand, she should still have the faith to stand on her word with the Ketubah she signed, in which she did say she would obey her husband, she'd love her husband, she'd cherish her husband. Well, she's done none of that by living over at Brenda's house, her roommate, all this time. I mean, we got married just a week ago, so literally for half of our marriage, we've been married 7 days now, this is our 1-week anniversary, half of the marriage, she's decided to forsake the covenant. Well, this is a prophetic picture. Many of you, and I know who you are because you're sending emails saying, Daniel, how dare you do all this? Many of you claim that you love Christ. You made a pledge and a vow to your future bridegroom, because Revelation 19 says that we as blood-washed believers will one day be married to him at the wedding supper of the Lamb. That's going to happen. And right now, if we've been bought by his blood, washed in his blood, bought by his blood, if we're filled with the Holy Spirit and loving him, we are betrothed to him. We're looking toward that wedding. But many of you out there, you still have sin in your life and you don't take refuge in him. You're lukewarm toward him. You don't yearn to be with him. You don't yearn to spend prayer with him. Even on my own prayer list, there's very few that actually want to spend 2 hours a day praying. And I'm not saying this to shame people, but I have a prayer list of probably 20 people on my email list, and there's only a handful of people who regularly attend, who make the time and effort to spend quality time with Yah in prayer. And I ran right into my wife. She was right there. Cindy K. Phillips, now Cindy K. Lee. Find her on Facebook. Anyway, she was standing there and she was puffing on a cigarette. And she was sort of in this serpent type spirit, because she was all like, and she was talking to 2 sinners. And anyway, I went right up to her and I said, have you repented yet? And she said, no, I'm going home. I'm going back to Tennessee. And I said, okay, well, just know that you're leaving your lawful husband and you're in rebellion. And if you were to die right now, you would go to the lake of fire. And you're not going to avoid that fate unless until you humble yourself, you repent, you come back to Yahshua of Nazareth, and you return to your husband, who's me. And she said, I fully understand what you're saying. And that was it. And I walked away. So my hands are clean. I've done all I can. She's wicked. And she's about to get on the Greyhound bus up at the Union train station, which is like a 5-minute drive from my house. And she's going back to Tennessee in rebellion. And this is a shadow picture of the church right now, because there's a lot of people in the church body who claim to be Christians, claim to be Messianics, and they're doing things their own way. They're not obeying the Torah. They're not walking in the Spirit. Pastor Rick and Elder Dale Cornerstone, they're pretending that they love God. They're pretending that they have to, but they're in rebellion. They're wicked. And so this is a shadow picture. What my wife is doing is a shadow picture of the body of Messiah. Not everyone, but a large segment of the body of Messiah right now is behaving like my wife is behaving. And you're doing your own thing. You have all the religious talk, but you're puffing on those spiritual cigarettes, and you have sin in your life. You haven't gotten all the sin out. 1 John 3:6-9 is a basic caution. You got to get all the sin out. Jesus Christ sets us free from all sin. Yahshua of Nazareth, if he's living inside you, then you're loving him with everything in you, and you're loving your neighbors yourself. Guess what? If you're doing those things, you can't possibly be sinning at the same time. You're either loving him or you're in sin. And most of you in the body of Messiah right now, you claim with your lips that you love him, but your heart's far from him, and you're still walking in sin. Even those of you who preach sinlessness, you're not keeping Torah. You're going to church on Sunday. You're eating pork. You're keeping Easter and Christmas. Give me a break. So this is for Christians and Messianics. What my wife is doing is a picture of the body of Messiah right now. She is in rebellion. She is going back home. She just wants to do things her own way rather than to submit to her authority, which is me.
What the hell is going on here?
Looks like your wife's leaving you, mister.
So we can see the doxing of his current wife, his current ex-wife, and his previous ex-wife. We can see the spin on it, turning it into a prophetic picture from God. You know, totally ignoring or totally negating himself from any responsibility, you know? Just this whole thing happened not because of anything he did wrong. It's all stuff that his wives do wrong, and this is just God showing him how he's right and how it's all our fault for being bad Christians that his marriage doesn't work out. And God's just using this situation to teach us some kind of lesson. He never gets any lessons out of the ordeal. He never stops and says, I wonder if maybe I'm a complete loony who did something wrong and I need to say I'm sorry and work to become a better person. Nah, that's never it. But just the similarities between these two just floored me when I went back and took a walk down memory lane and watched the infamous bus stop confrontation, where he walked down and probably said something along the lines of, well, I'm just going to make a video of you and embarrass you and show everybody what a sinning, terrible wife you are for leaving me. Just one final attempt. One final attempt to blackmail his wife into coming home, So, another thing that I found very interesting is, if you notice in his rant, he said, and I know who you all are because I have your emails, your email addresses, and your emails. So, this is just a thought, so bear with me for a moment, but he's been doing some talking about if his YouTube channel ever gets shut down, to send all of your email addresses to this one spot to someone named Noah who helped him set this thing up. Just just send them all, and they'll be compiled in one spot where he can send out a group email and let all of y'all know what happened and where you can find them. And I'm not saying that Daniel John Lee is going to use those emails to make money. What I'm saying is he can use them to make money, and I'm going to leave a link below this video, a link in the description below this video that you can go and check out and do a little research on your own. And if you do know anyone who's in the throes of getting away from this man and may have left their email, or preferably if you could catch them before they leave their email address, maybe we could keep some folks from getting taken advantage of, if that's in fact what he's doing. Because we know his donations have been sporadically going up and down, and we know he's going to figure out some way to make money without actually going to work. So this may be something to just check out. It's just something I thought about, just an idea, just something to dig into. And this everyone who's saying that this is a ticking time bomb, this situation with him and his mental wellness being in question, they're not wrong. And I'm not sure what the resolution is going to be, but something has to give in this situation. Daniel needs to get help, and he needs to get it soon. I'd like to thank all of you for stopping in here and having a visit with your favorite robot, and I see everything that you guys and gals talk about in the comments, and we have fun here on this channel, but I see folks trying to make moves to better the situation, and I just wanted to take a minute here at the end of this video and let you know that I do see that, and I appreciate that, and whatever the resolution will be, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for the majority of us anyway. Everyone will be safe, and hopefully Daniel will get the help that he needs, because this feeding into his mental illness and giving him money and stroking his ego on a daily basis, and I'm talking to all the folks that subscribe to him, this is not helping Daniel at all. This is making the problem worse. And that's just a thought, from a robot. So I could be wrong. Until next video, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and God bless each and every one of you. Patriotic Robot, signing off.